doing everything right, but still exhausted, bloated, and hormonally off. It's not you. It's chronic stress disrupting your hormones. If you're new here, I'm Miriam, a scientist and a nurse, and I help women understand their hormonal rhythms so they can feel more balanced and connected to their bodies. Chronic stress doesn't just affect your mood. It directly impacts your hormone, your cycle, your sleep, and even how your body stores fat. In today's video, I'm breaking down how chronic stress affects your hormonal system and the most effective science-backed ways to start restoring balance in a way that actually works with your body. When we talk about stress, most people think it's just mental, feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or emotionally drained. But biologically speaking, stress is anything that signals to your nervous system that you're not safe. Chronic stress happens when your body stays in that alert survival state for weeks, months, or even years without even recovering. And for many women today, this has quietly become the norm. Your body doesn't know the difference between a life-threatening danger and modern stressors like skipping meals, poor sleep, overexercising, constant notification, emotional suppression, or never slowing down. For many women, especially moms, stress can look like carrying the mental load, managing schedules, meals, kids drop off and pick up, work deadlines, household tasks, emotional needs, and everyone else's well-being, often without ever fully clocking out. From your body's perspective, all these signals mean the same thing. Now is not safe time to rest, repair, or reproduce. When safety signals are low, the body prioritizes survival function and downregulates processes like digestion, hormone production, and cellular repair. It puts healing and hormone balance on the back burner so it can focus on simply getting through your day that most of the time feels like a pressure cooker. Once your body has been living in survival mode for a while, your hormonal system begins to shift in a very predictable way. The main hormone involved here will be cortisol, your primary stress hormone. Cortisol isn't bad. It's actually essential for you to stay alive. It helps you wake up in the morning, respond to challenges, and handle short-term stress. So the problem isn't cortisol itself. It's chronically elevated cortisol. When stress becomes long-term, cortisol stays high for too long. That's when it starts affecting other hormones. One of the first hormones impacted is progesterone. Your body uses the same building block to make both cortisol and progesterone. So when stress is high, your body prioritizes cortisol production and progesterone just often drops. This is why many women under chronic stress will experience PMS, anxiety, trouble sleeping, breast tenderness, or cycle that feels emotionally intense. Stress can also throw estrogen out of balance by making its pattern less stable and less predictable throughout your cycle. When stress is high, estrogen may fluctuate more sharply instead of rising and falling smoothly like it should be. This lack of rhythm can overwhelm the body and triggers symptoms like bloating, headaches, breast tenderness, heavier or more uncomfortable periods, and emotional ups and downs that feels harder to manage. So chronic stress is not going to cause estrogen to be too high or too low. It's just going to disrupt signaling and timing imbalance of this hormone. Chronic stress can also begin to alter your thyroid function. When your body is under constant stress, it shifts energy away from long-term regulation and repair, which can reduce how efficiently your thyroid hormones are produced, converted, and used by your cells. Since your thyroid plays a key role in metabolism, energy production, and temperature regulation, the slowdown can show up as persistent fatigue, brain fog, feeling cold more often, and weight gain or weight that feels unusually difficult to lose, even when you're eating well and staying active. This isn't a failure of your body again. It's just you adapting to a prolonged exposure to stress. Think of it like your body switching into a low power mode to conserve energy, trying to keep you safe and keep the light on. And finally, chronic stress has a major impact on insulin regulation, which is how your body manages blood sugar. When stress hormone like cortisol stays elevated, your body releases more glucose into the bloodstream, to prepare for danger. Even when there's no real threat, it makes blood sugar levels less stable, leading to spikes and crashes that can show up as energy dips and cravings, irritability, and feeling shaky or off between meals. Those blood sugar swings then signal even more stress to the body, triggering additional cortisol release. Here we go. Let's add a layer. And this is how many women get stuck in a cycle where stress disrupts blood sugar disrupts hormone, and hormone amplifies stress. And here we go. It keeps going on and on and on and on. Without addressing the underlying stress load and nervous system regulation, this loop can be very difficult to break, no matter how clean your diet looks on paper. None of this means something is wrong with you. It means your body has been stuck in emergency mode, doing its best to keep you alive, even though the emergency is mostly emails, schedules, and to-do lists. Now let's talk about the signs your hormones are being impacted by chronic stress, because for many women, these signals get normalized for far too long. One of the reasons chronic stress is so hard to catch is because it doesn't always show up all at once. It creeps in quietly through symptoms that seems unrelated. You might feel tired but wired, exhausted but unable to fully relax or fall asleep at night. You may notice stronger PMSs, increased emotional sensitivity, irritability, anxiety, especially in the second half of your cycle. Your digestion might feel off. You might experience bloating, discomfort, or feel heavy after meal. Energy crashes between meals, intense craving or feeling shaky or irritable when you don't eat right away can also be a sign that stress is affecting blood sugar and insulin regulation. Many women also notice brain fog, low motivation, or a feeling of disconnection from their body, and sometimes it looks like weight that feel hard to lose. Now, a lot of you listening to this might be thinking, this is exactly how I feel. And this is usually the point where people will tell you, you just need to reduce your stress. And while that advice sounds simple, it often feels impossible, especially if you're managing work, family, relationship, and a never-ending mental to-do list. You can't think your way out of a stressed nervous system. You can't relax your way out of stress when your body thinks it's on call 24/7. You can't mindset your hormone back into balance. And you can't fix chronic stress by adding more things to your plate, even if they are healthy. Chronic stress lives in the body, not just the mind. And when your nervous system has been on fight or flight for so long, it needs consistent safety signals, not pressure to relax, not perfection, and not guilt for needing rest. This is why things like a vacation, a yoga class, a few deep breaths might feel good in the moment, but don't create a lasting change unless they become part of your daily routine and habits. Real healing happens when you stop asking your body to push harder and start teaching it that it's safe to be in this environment right now. Before we move on, quick pause and click on the subscribe button below. It only takes 2 seconds and it means the world to me. Thank you so much. The ultimate goal isn't to eliminate stress. It's to change the signal your body receives every day. Healing starts by helping your nervous system feel safe again. And no matter how stressful your life is, these 5 core pillars that I'm going to share now addresses the root cause of chronic stress at the nervous system level, not temporarily, but in a way that creates lasting regulation and resilience. Pillar number 1, learn how to regulate your nervous system. Your nervous system needs regular reminder that it's okay to slow down and that you're safe. This doesn't necessarily mean long meditation sessions or completely changing your life. Regulation happens through small, repeated moments of safety built into your day. It can look like slower mornings, and I know some of you are probably thinking slower mornings with kids, school drop-off, and a million things to do. And this isn't about doing less. It's about strategically giving yourself a small head start. For me, that means getting up 30 minutes before my 2-year-old, and we are in the terrible 2 phase right now, just so I can sit in that quiet, peaceful space before the day begins. Going to bed a little earlier and waking up just a bit sooner gives you a buffer. Even 10 quiet minutes without grabbing your phone or rushing into tasks can completely shift how your nervous system responds for the rest of the day. Another powerful way that I like to create safety for your nervous system is through breathing. Slow, intentional breathing, especially like box breathing sends a clear signal to your body that there's no immediate danger. Box breathing is very simple. You inhale for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, you exhale for 4 seconds, and you hold again for 4 seconds, and then you repeat until you feel calmer and more collected. Very often when I was a quality manager where the level of urgency and pressure could feel overwhelming, in those moments, box breathing became my quickest way to reset, clear my head, and shift out of fight or flight. Slowing my breathing allowed me to slow my response so I could make thoughtful decisions, set the right plan, and support my team from a grounded place. The other one is time and nature. This is another way and another actually powerful way to regulate the nervous system. A short walk outside, sunlight in your eyes, first thing in the morning, or simply stepping outside between tasks can calm your system far more than we often realize. Walking in particular is one of my favorite ways to clear my mind and organize my ideas. So being in motion creates space and space to think more clearly, to regulate emotion, and to let inspired ideas surface naturally. Many high performers swear by it, and they will recommend you keeping a note on your phone or having a small notebook nearby because some of your best ideas tend to come while you're walking, not when you're forcing them to come out. Nervous system safety comes from how you structure your days. So planning your day with realistic goals instead of overloading yourself reduces constant pressure. Creating simple life system like batching similar tasks on one day of the week or clustering things like meal prep or dinner help your body stop feeling like it has to do everything all the time. You will be surprised how these simple choices can create quiet moments throughout your day, moments where your body can finally exhale. Even 5 minutes of intentional calm tells your nervous system you're not in danger, it's now safe to slow down. The second pillar is to learn how to stabilize your blood sugar. Blood sugar swings, like we talked earlier, are stressful to the body. Even if you don't consciously feel stress, from your body's perspective, sharp drops and spikes in blood sugar are interpreted as a threat, which immediately triggers a cortisol response. I saw this play out in my own life for years. When I was working long, demanding days, I would often skip meals at work, skip breakfast entirely, or rely on sweets in the morning, which was something I grew up with culturally and didn't think twice about at the time. On the surface, it didn't seem like a big deal, but internally, my blood sugar was constantly crashing and spiking, crashing and spiking. That kept my stress hormone elevated, my energy unstable, and my body stuck in a reactive state. Supporting blood sugar doesn't require perfection or restrictions. It starts with eating enough, prioritizing protein, and building balanced meals that includes all of these: protein, sugar, carbohydrate, fibers, etc., healthy fats. So simply not skipping breakfast or at least breaking your fast with something nourishing can dramatically reduce cortisol spikes and change how your body handles stress throughout the day. When your blood sugar becomes stable and steady, your body will feel safer naturally. And when your body feels safe, you know it by now, your hormones are better supported, your energy steadies, and your stress becomes easier to regulate and cope with. Now, the third pillar is supportive movement, not more stressful movement. Supportive movement. Movement is powerful, and it is important to remember that exercise is still a form of stress on the body. And depending on your current stress load, it can either support your hormone or quickly work against them. So when your nervous system is already overloaded, adding more intense workout without enough recovery can keep your body stuck in a fight or flight mode. More isn't always better. So especially when your body is already tired. This often looks like pushing through exhaustion, feeling drained after workouts, or needing more and more effort just to maintain results. So supportive movement is about learning when to push and when to restore. Some days your body can handle strength training, and yes, go ahead and do it, or higher intensity movement. Other days, it needs gentler support, walking, mobility work, stretching, yoga, or simply moving your body without performance and pressure. Your hormonal needs change throughout the month, and honoring those shifts allows movement to work with your physiology instead of against it. So it serves your body. When movement feels supportive like that rather than punishing, it sends a powerful signal of safety to the nervous system and say, okay, chill. We're here to help. Before we continue with the last two pillars, if you're finding this helpful, I'd love it if you took a second to subscribe. It really supports this channel. It means more than you know. And thank you so much. So now pillar number 4, and you know it. If you know me, you know what I'm going to say right now. Protect sleep. Your sleep is your health. I think that I had a lot of conversations with my husband about this, and we both agree that it all starts with the sleep. If your sleep is in check, everything else in your health, body, and mental health will just flow and align over time, as long as you keep doing the right things, stacking the right habits. So pillar number 4 again, protect sleep. Sleep is a thing everybody says will prioritize right after one more episode or one more scroll or one more thing we definitely didn't need to do at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. at night. Sleep is one of those most powerful regulator of stress hormone, and it's often the first thing to suffer when life gets busy. I felt this deeply when I was working night shifts. And to all the night shifters, I feel you. I know how hard it is. And I know how frustrated you are, but you definitely need to work on your sleep bank. So flipping my schedule during night shifts was really hard. So I had to sleep through during the day and be awake when my body needed rest. As time was going by, it felt like my body was in a state of immune overload. I got sicker more. I was run down, inflamed, and completely unbalanced. Even when I was trying to do everything right, it just didn't work because I wasn't sleeping enough or consistently. And at the time when I was a night shifter, I also had a 2-month-old. So sometimes I just don't sleep for 24 hours and maybe take a nap of 2 to 3 hours and then go to my night shift again. So if your sleep is inconsistent or misaligned with your natural rhythm, cortisol stays elevated and the immune system becomes overactivated. Your body reads this as a constant stress signal, which makes hormonal balance incredibly difficult. So supporting sleep isn't about perfection or forcing 8 flawless hours every single night. It's about the rhythm, the consistency, sleeping at the same time, getting up at the same time, trying to align the deep sleep quality, length, and all that. Going to bed and waking up around the same time for most days helps regulate this internal clock. And morning light exposure is one of the simplest way you can recalibrate your circadian rhythm every single day and support the cortisol rising in the morning so it can support the fall at night when you actually want to sleep. So reducing stimulation in the evening is vital. Bright light, constant scrolling send the wrong signal to your body and that it's still daytime even when you're super exhausted. If you want to have a balanced body and stay healthy, you need to protect your sleep. It has to become non-negotiable. And finally, pillar number 5, manage emotional stress. This last pillar is often the hardest to recognize because not all stress is physical. Emotional stress sends just as strong of a signal to your nervous system as lack of sleep or skipped meals. And in many cases, it's the stress we normalize the most. Things like overcommitting, people pleasing, constantly putting yourself last, suppressing emotions, or feeling responsible for everyone else's need keep your body in a quiet but constant state of stress. Even if you're eating well, moving your body, and getting decent sleep, unresolved emotional stress can keep cortisol elevated and your nervous system on edge. This is why boundaries matters. Saying no, asking your help, allowing yourself to rest without guilt, and letting emotions move through you instead of bottling them up and send a powerful safety signal to your body. Emotional regulation is a skill you need to work on this year, definitely one of the priorities. It's a form of nervous system care. Let me know in the comments what pillar felt like a missing piece for you. Make sure you're subscribed and watch this one next. And if you like this video, then please share it with someone that you think would find it useful. I'll see you in the next one.